Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. I'm Tormented by Gnomes. I'll be your dungeon master, and joining me for today's session is Ninja Man Matt. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am slowly becoming more caffeinated, bit by bit, and as I do so, my happiness increases.
The coffee fills you. It is neat.
Yes, it is neat. So, when we last left our heroes in our unevenly scheduled adventures, you were in the process of going down into the wreckage of the Uncivil Serpent, a ship that you sank in like the second episode. Excuse me. That's going to happen a lot. It's going to happen a lot. I'm just going to put that out there. Don't know how to stop that.
Hey, mate, before you get going in full, I just want to quickly remind you, considering the way things went down, I am more than bloodied with no powers left.
I will be sure to tell the denizens of Baldur's Gate to go easy.
Yep, exactly.
They'll listen. All right, so you had been excavating the ruins. You've been attempting to salvage the wreck of the Uncivil Serpent, but it seems that somebody else had already picked it clean. And as you came back up for air, you arrived on the docks, and Rhea was holding 3 thugs at bay.
Oh, well, if Ray is here, I'm fine.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Rhea's here. You got Rhea, you got Darren. Umberto is still like puking up water or something.
Did he drown? Yeah, he drowned, right?
Yeah, exactly. He drowned, but he'll be fine by next episode, I promise.
Oh, yeah, good.
So, yeah, that is the situation. She has one hand on the rope she used to pull you up out of the water. The other hand is on her enormous sword. Darren is circling and sort of, annoyed. That you'll notice.
I thought Darren was healed. Did we have an old tech token that got pulled?
Darren is linked to his character sheet. Should be up to date. I think
Okay,
he went down. I think he went down to 1 health level and he got healed back up to 2 health levels.
Okay, as long as that's the case, that's fine.
Yeah. He's tracked to his token, so he should be accurate.
Okay.
Anyways,
do retainers, do they get hit points, or rather, can they take short rest to heal, or no? Isn't that?
I'm not positive. I don't believe so, but
okay.
I will look it up while you decide what you want to do. Now, I want to be clear. In D&D terms, it looks like these guys are fairly close because they're 1 move action away. Well, a move action and some change. But normally, if somebody's 40 feet away from you, that's pretty far away, especially in a crowded city. So yeah, these guys were just closing in, and I'm going to move you slightly. I'm going to move you up to the edge of the dock because you got pulled up.
That makes sense.
These guys were just closing in and sort of, she's got a sharp eye for danger. So she saw them closing in with nefarious intent and already drew her sword against them. What do you do?
Can I make a quick perception check with my old eyes? Find out if I can see that these ruffians have any kind of obvious affiliation or if they're just vagabonds.
Okay. Roll perception.
13.
I keep forgetting this is like your one character that isn't absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. They don't have any obvious affiliation, but I will say in Baldur's Gate, it's pretty standard tactics to not show anything. You know what I mean? You want to avoid being detectable if at all possible. Baby Blue, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're playing D&D. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, but Darius is pretty used to at least the crews and things. They'll have little like patches somewhere. Like it won't be very obvious things, but people need to be able to distinguish themselves. And even if it is a large city like this, much like in other cities that we have here in real life, there usually is some kind of common name. They all wear a scarf. They all have like some kind of sash wrapped around. There's usually something to denote if they're a part of a crew or especially if it's a very tight-knit family style thing,
Right. But that is more common if they're just walking around like or trying to make a show of force, control their territory, etc. Here, if they're not showing anything, it usually means they're on business.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Just making sure that Darius would have a pretty good idea of that. So as Darius, just sopping, soaking wet, uh, I don't feel like his leather armor would have. I mean, technically in real life, it would definitely be active, but in D&D, I'm not sure if I would have had to. So your call if I had to take my armor off to go for a dip. But regardless, stopping, soaking wet, as Darius gets assistance from Rhea to help pull him up, he looks just as subtle as he can, taking assess the situation. All right, Rhea, what's going on?
Rounded the corner. They're all working together. I can tell. They're closing in on us, pushing other people out of the way. They're looking for trouble. Haven't talked to them yet at all.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to walk to our left. See if I can get this alone. If things get fussy, you two hold up the other two while Darren and I take up. Once we have that, you make a break for it and we'll run down the alleyway and lose them. Make enough to motion so hopefully Umberto can get out of here without issue.
He looks to the two that are to the east, to the one that's to the west, gives you a nod.
And at that, I'm going to just take my sopping self. I make sure that I give myself a quick pat to ensure that my
Bring yourself out.
Yeah, I ring myself out, make sure that I'm making it look like I'm going through and like, oh God, this is awful. And I make a show of saying to Raina, gosh, I swear, honey, I didn't mean to drop the freaking ring. I don't really know what to do. Look, hey, you know what? And I point over to the gentleman to my left, and I take a step over towards him, and I call out. I make sure that I'm standing near these bales in case these barrels, in case anything happens. I have something to duck behind, and I say, "You, sir, have you been around here for a bit? I dropped something not just a few moments ago, and I'm just, it's getting dark, and it's really murky out there, and trust me, if I don't find this thing, So I'm trying to make a bit of a show to get eyes on us, to where if they're going to try anything, it's going to be in front of a lot of people and not just an easy thing.
Okay, roll deception and roll performance in that order.
Ooh, okay, cool. Let's do this. Deception the first, and oh gosh, performance the second. All right, okay, there we go.
A 17 and a 19. All right. You are causing a bit of a ruckus. You've got some people like looking around. Ooh, there's a valuable ring that I could use, and this is Baldur's Gate, where every single scrap is valuable. So you have gathered a small crowd about you. The individual is gonna glance around and say, "Why, sure, I'd be happy to help." And he's going to approach you. What do you do?
I would like to either when they're approaching, do they seem like they have like a hard stance, like they're about ready to spring into an attack, or do they look easygoing and like, okay, let's see how this plays out?
Roll insight. Oh, this is he's just closing the gap. He's clearly got violence on the mind. Immediate violence on the mind.
Perfect. Alrighty. I am going to as part of this, I'm going to look up towards where Darren is, and I'm having again Darren circle overhead, just far enough to where he'll be in distance to dive if necessary. And I'm doing my best to give him a cue to, as soon as this gentleman approaches me, I'm going to turn my back to the guy and begin going back to the dock and like just prone on the ground, looking around, like peering over the edge into the water, going like, I just don't know where this thing could be, trying to give this guy like ample opportunity. And right before he's about to strike, I want Darren to like dive in and scratch at his eyes, just fumble him about, and then I'm going to have Darren, Raina, and I just book it.
Okay, so you're gonna dip potato chip?
Yeah, I'm gonna. As I turn around, I look her in the eye, look up at Darren, and give like a nod over my shoulder, like we're gonna dip.
Okay. Roll a deception check, and put yourself by the water, and give yourself the prone condition.
I am by the water, prone, just like I always want to be. And it's another deception check. Ooh. Glory be to the hypnotoad.
Okay, a 7.
Honey, you have to understand, I didn't mean to lose it. This valuable thing that I dropped.
Calculon. All right. The individual's judge of character is worse than your performance. So he.
And I mean, I did pretty good initially. You know, I'm
Yeah.
trying to sell this. I'm getting a bit over dramatic because I learned a lot of my deception from Jonas Goodnight, and that's an acting school. So you know.
So the guy takes out like a big old stick and sort of points it at the water. Hey, try looking over there, and then winds it up like in a clear, almost cartoon, I'm gonna bonk you on the head. And at that exact moment, with a keening cry, Darren swoops down on him. Ah, my face! Roll an attack for Darren.
With advantage because he's diving down from the sky unnoticed.
Yes, because you successfully deceived him.
Glorious. 25.
Oh my god. I think he's used up all of his specials for the day. Is today still the day of...
Dude, today is still the day. this is Joplin Day, man. It's been a crazy day.
It's been a wild day. All right, he swoops down and stabs the guy. Gets the guy in the face. He doesn't pull out his eyes, but he does like scratch him so there's blood all over his face. My face! And Rhea is going to cheese it. As you said, down the alleyway. You have to use half of your movement to rise from a prone position, but then you can do all of your roguish roguity.
Glorious. I use half my movement to rise. I use a bonus action to disengage as I... well, actually, question. Just because it's kind of cool, and I feel like because he's being distracted by Darren, would I be able to, since he's maybe not expecting it, try to... here's what I'm wondering. Would he be in a position to where it's likely that I'd be able to trip him up if I try and sweep the leg as I get up?
Sure.
What I want to do is try and prevent him from, like, because Darren's going to try and leave, and I don't want Darren to, like, get...
You want to knock him prone so he can't take an attack of opportunity.
At least not at Darren, yeah. So,
right.
You know what? Let's go with the safe thing. Darren should be fine. I'm just gonna cheese it. Bonus action, disengage. I use my 15 feet of movement to run with my action, and then I just use my movement to just cheese it down the alleyway.
All right.
And then I'm assuming Darren can fly off after us.
Yes. The other two
are straight off into the sky.
The other two start running down the other alleyway to try to cut you off. This guy is going to take an attack of opportunity against Darren. A fairly tall order. So he's going to swing, bada swing. Ooh, 23. It's a hit. Roll a Constitution saving throw for Darren.
Oh, my poor buddy, please. Oh.
I'm pretty sure he passed. Yeah, he passed. So he gets thwacked a little bit, but it's a glancing blow. He soars off into the sky and easily dips. The other two, however, got a head start when they saw you run, and they're trying to run alongside the other alleyway. Do a quick skill challenge to escape them.
Perfect. I'm all about it. Okay, so here's my thought. Just from what I'm seeing here, because I like what I'm looking at here on the map, I see that we have some boxes. I see that we have a fountain, and I see that there's a couple of different like outcroppings of whatnot. So what I'm going to do is go, okay, as we're hauling ass, like, oh, okay, Rhea, you go that way, head off towards from where we are at the docks. I'm going to say, here, can you move us to the main map for a second, mate?
Absolutely. And we're not bound by that map we were just on either.
Oh yeah, I'm just using it as kind of a guide for us. I'm going to just assume that we're kind of right here at this point. So from where we are, I'm going to tell her, okay, just head to Garland's House of Mastery. I'm going to run over to the shields. And actually, no. Okay, I'm going to tell her to head down towards the lantern, but then head directly towards the one-way in. I'm going to try and lead them to the shield, and I will meet you at the one-way in. From there, if things get really haywire, we'll head to Garmel's House of Masteries. If it seems like we kind of lost them, we're going to head to Joplin's.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Let me pull out the chase.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just to inform our little skill challenge.
On this.
Yes, yeah. Good. All right, you have a good plan. I don't think I can search here. It's unfortunate, but that's fine. You have a good plan. What's your first technique, aside from splitting up your forces, what's your first technique for losing them?
So my plan was to have us all kind of split off. I'm going to leave Darren with me since Reyna, if she gets cornered, she's going to kill these guys.
This isn't for her. This is for them.
This is not for her. Yeah, I'm trying to save them. So what my plan is to have her head off the way I described, and I'm planning on distracting them, trying to keep everyone going towards me. I'm pretty sure from what it looks like, they probably want me regardless. But what I would like to do, just considering I want to know why these guys are trying to track us down. So I want to try and lose everyone but one of them. So my plan is to do just well enough to mainly lose them, but give them just enough to where I can kind of split them all off a little. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So my plan is to, I don't want to be throwing my knives around. So I am planning on using my athleticism and just general, acrobatics in order to create enough distance by hopping over rooftops, but being just within range to where they're like, hey, you try and go this way, I'll try and go this way. And then when they split up, I'm going to make sure that I keep the one that looks like they're the fastest on my tail, while the other one ends up losing me. The other two rather lose me, get lost in the crowd, that whole thing. And then my plan is to, once I've gotten enough distance, try and corner that one with Darren, get them weakened enough to where I can then just do the whole Batman intimidation.
Okay. So why don't you start out by, all right, you can't really use stealth here because you're trying to be detected. So,
yes.
But why don't you roll stealth just to represent your overall strategy, your ability to use cover to your advantage to separate them and lure them out?
Absolutely. I can totally do that. 21, I think? Yeah.
21, yeah. Okay, that beats their passive perception. You lose one of them pretty easily.
Yes.
All right, how are you going to... at least one of them is still on your tail, however. One of them was on Rhea's tail and Rhea split. So now one of them is on your tail. Are you going to thread him out a little bit longer, or are you going to go ahead and...
Absolutely. I would like to, let's see here. I'm going to use either whatever you call my acrobatics or athleticism in order to basically do the hopping from rooftop to rooftop, having them either try and climb off after me. My hope is to kind of almost taunt them in a way. And be like, look, you've almost got me. You've almost got me. Like, come on, I don't know what you're here for. And I'll be
you
doing
almost
that
had it.
Yeah,
gotta be
exactly.
quicker than that.
And try and just dangle my capture right in front of them. Like, oh, I almost slipped. So maybe if I could do a combination of like acrobatics and like deception to make sure that they can feel like they're on my tail, and then right when I'm kind of certain they're far enough away from their allies, that's when I'm hoping Darren and I, if you want to throw us somewhere, we can just do a quick little like ambush on them and see if we can do enough damage to get them to cow to us, and then we can intimidate them.
You're for it. What direction? You're trying to stay in Eastway, right?
Yeah, staying in Eastway. I'm heading north and having her go east is generally like the plan was to have her head towards Garmalt's, but try to end up at the one-way in. I was heading towards the shield and then moving towards the one-way in. I'm hoping by this point I'm somewhere around the shield.
All right. A 16 on acrobatics, and now give me that deception check as you're trying to lead them on. Okay, yeah. You have got one of them right where you want him.
Excellent.
Give me one moment to set up a little street scene for you.
Yes.
I'm going to put you here.
My plan is, perfect.
And I'm going to allow you to manipulate your environment a little bit because you have the advantage. So shift around and sort of decide where you want the different players to be.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have Darren in here for me? It doesn't really matter because he can just dive down from wherever, I suppose.
He can sort of you can do a deep strike deployment on Darren for sure, but here he is.
Okay, perfect. So I figure let's just go ahead and say that there hopefully is, like, if I found a little secluded alley where there's no one here. I had just come from, let's say, this area. And as he's rounding the corner, I'm going to position myself to being just behind here, staying out of his sight. And as he's walking around looking for me, my plan is to jump out and surprise him.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
I'm going to put Darren just like right here, like just to, they're like kind of like perched up, like staying low, kind of a thing.
For sure.
You want me to roll for both Darren and myself?
First off, let me turn on universal lighting because it is still about just past 4 o'clock. So daylight mode activated.
I guess.
Roll stealth for yourself, and then roll stealth for Darren. These guys don't seem to have the best passive perception on the planet, and you have an amazing stealth check, so yeah, you're good. You're fine for the time being. Darren, wow. Wow. Wow.
There are certain things that I'm good at, and there's a lot of things that I'm not good at.
I have a certain
But
set
I
of
think
skills.
I have a very particular set of skills. 5, in fact. Don't mess with me with those 5 skills.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's 6, but still. And we are lying in wait to spring our trap. And my main point is not to kill this guy. My main point is to like just wait until the necessary time, and then we jump him, do just enough damage. Either if we do knock him out, get him up really quick, have him tied up, and be like, "All right, where are the drugs?" You know.
Okay. He stands here. He looks left and right to see if he can spot you. Heads to this corner. Looks down this alleyway. Looks down this alleyway. Swears under his breath. Walks this way to get to the next alleyway. Going once.
Oh, you're waiting for. Oh, I thought we were doing a turn in order. Oh yeah,
Nope,
I'll
nope.
jump in. Sure.
All right.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Darren is gonna just basically, as soon as I make like probably like a little click sound, like I like ding my dagger against the side of the wall, and then as soon as the guy is like turning around, as soon as I ding the dagger, Darren flies forward. I spring out, and we corner him.
Okay. Does Darren attack him, or does Darren just appear?
Oh no, we're gonna fuck this guy.
Okay. Roll your attack.
All righty. Let's see here. I got. Okay, I'm just gonna try and end this. I to go very well. So here we go. Cunning Artifice. What we got here? Let's do Lingering Wound. All right. I am gonna advantage on this because I'm attacking from stealth. Grab wound. Let's add this and sneak attack. Ravengard. Actually, from where I'm at, no. I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna use a dagger. Throw it straight up this guy.
I love the just gigantic pile of dice.
And then Darren, the chonky hawk of the Ripper near Baldur's Gate, is going to also pop out. And I mean, this is just I hit, so he's gonna.
It's an automatic hit. Okay, so your total damage is going to be 16 from your thrown dagger, plus Darren swoops down for another 7 for 23 points of damage.
Woo! And I'm assuming this is not the guy we hurt, right? He went up after Reyna.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So here, and after I throw my dagger, how's this guy looking? Is he looking?
Oh, he's like bloodied. He's grievously injured. He is not having a good time. Roll for initiative.
Rolling for initiative. There he is. Advantage. Initiative. Darren, take advantage. Initiative. Oh wait, Darren it goes on my turn. It doesn't matter.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I didn't click on Darius. No, I didn't click on Darius.
There is no greater sin. I'll take care of it. Oh my god.
Surprise.
What's your initiative modifier?
Well, I rolled a 24 for Darius, so.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
Dip. Yeah, you did. Damn.
But I have a +5 anyway, so.
All right. Well, you know, that's
sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck. Okay, so what would you like to do? This guy's incredibly injured. And did you hit him with Lingering Strike? You did. So at the start of each of the creature's turns. So it's not.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you have it exactly right. I'm going to rush forward and I'm going to shove this guy against this wall over here.
Okay. roll a opposed athletics check.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I guess I won't. My plan is to basically grab him. I have my rapier drawn, and I am going to grab him by the front of his cloak and basically put the blade at his throat. I am pushing him up against the wall, but it's just like for cutscene stuff. I'm basically like going to hold him forward and say, "Listen, friend, I have a dagger lodged just into your spleen. If this thing moves even the slightest bit, gore and viscera will spread across the floor. I can take care of it for you and fix you up right now. If I do so, you're going to talk. Tell me who your compatriots are and why. Or I can also just slit your throat. I press the rapier up against him using a reaction to attack him if he does anything other than drop his weapons and submit to me.
Okay, so your bonus action is to intimidate, and your action is to ready an action to kill him.
Yes.
Perfect. Roll an intimidation check. I'm not going to give you advantage, but I am going to adjust his demeanor based on his current situation.
Copy that.
14. Okay. He sort of... You can see he's doing the math in his head, and he does not like the way that this equation is going. Darren is also standing by to cause problems.
Listen, man, I took a calculated risk. I'm good at math.
It's at that exact moment that a rat appears behind you. Hold on.
I mean, there's lots of rats in Baldur's Gate. This should mean. Why are you describing a rat?
Because it appears behind you.
Oh, good. Goody. I'm gonna have Darius had been on like doing what I was doing. He was holding an action to basically goosh this guy if he didn't submit to Darius.
Done and done.
Like,
a rat appears behind you and bites you, attempts to bite you with advantage.
Cool, cool. Yep.
I'm going to roll this in secret.
Okay.
It scores a critical hit.
Anything about that?
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay. Take half damage.
That doesn't sound good.
13 points of damage total.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? Why wouldn't I?
Why the hell not?
Is it just straight up poison damage, or is it poison damage and piercing damage?
Poison damage and piercing damage.
So I know I got bit by something.
Yes.
Like the worst thing in the world. Like,
yeah.
This is one of the worst bites I've ever suffered.
Yes, it burns as the poison injects itself into your veins.
Oh,
I guess you'd say venom instead of poison. So yeah, go ahead and take that 13 for me.
I'll take that 13. And I am going to... I have no idea what this thing is, so I just knock this guy out. I'm going to use Darren and Maya's reactions, non-lethal damage, and just take my blade and instead just like clunk him on the head.
Okay. You can take sneak attack on this.
I will take sneak attack.
But it is, and it's if you defeat him, he will automatically be stabilized. And you have advantage because you're flanking with Darren, so go ahead and roll.
Glorious. All right. Please. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, a 15 does hit. Clonk! Ooh.
13. Is he still up? Oh, good.
Ah, he's down. He is down.
Okay, that was my reaction. Does this thing do anything else once it bites me? Like, I feel like Darius gets bitten, like, ah, and just
just like spasms and clonks the guy over the head.
Oh, okay. And I flip around. Do I see just this crazy giant ass rat standing in front of me?
Just see this rat. It's not even a giant rat. It's a normal sized rat.
I mean, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
I'm gonna get killed by a rat, guys. For those of you watching, Darius is gonna die because a rat is gonna kill me. I don't know what to do here. Considering, okay, Darius looks from Darren to the rat and says, "Darren, can you give me a hand here, buddy?" And I am going to use. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to disengage. I can't. I can't risk this. How can I really run away from a rat? All right, let's see. I'm going to just take a step over to here. Disengage 15 feet.
Oh, you disengage.
Yep, I said disengage.
Yes, yes, you did. You did.
What is this aura? Is this an aura of bad around me? What is this?
That means it's your turn.
Oh, good. Oh, wow. Interesting.
Neat,
All right,
right?
and then it is very neat. And then I am going to. Oh, actually, from where I'm at here, mate, would I be able to go around this corner, hide, and then attack this? Oh, well, that's gonna disadvantage anyway. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. Darren's gonna move in. This sucker putting itself between. It's gonna get. It's gonna land on the ground and do this like little, and then like rush over at him.
Okay, roll the attack.
All right, since I have an ally nearby, I'll get sneak attack if this thing hits. It's just an
Oh,
attack.
you moved Darren into position and then you threw a. Okay, yes.
Yes. Yes. I'm having Darren tie him up so that way I can.
Because they're about the same size, Darren grants this thing cover. +2 to its armor class. You can reposition if you'd like.
Yeah, if I'm trying to move. Okay, I'll put him right here.
All right.
Yeah.
Does not have +2 to his armor class.
He's giving me a straight shot, but he's tying him up so that way I can try and have the rat. I can hit it in the spleen. I always try and go for the spleen.
Roll it.
Rolling it. Oh, God. Oh, wait. Let me add. I'm going to do Cunning Artifice. And I am going to do a tumbling throw. I'm going to tumble away from it. And I will add the Cunning die to my AC until the beginning of my next turn. So I don't add the Cunning die to damage, but I'll roll a 1d6 and add it to my AC because I cannot have. I mean, it rolled a nat 20 last time, but I can't have this thing again. All right, please, die, just die. Ah.
Boy,
and a 9 doesn't hit this thing, right?
A 9 does not hit this thing.
I didn't think so.
It's a rat.
Right.
It's fairly, dodgy. Good at dodging.
Fairly dodgy. And Darren is going to try and hit, but unfortunately, just a normal attack. And all right, Darren hit. Nice, very good.
Okay, great. Darren hits the rat for 6 points of slashing damage. It shrieks and hisses, very unrat-like manner, and appears to be pretty badly injured.
Darren will then hop, in my way, trying to give this thing a difficult time to try and get to me. And I still have movement. I moved 15 feet, so now I'm going to move the last of my 15 feet, and I'm going to duck behind. I'm going to be here, but I'm like peeking around. I want to make sure I'm keeping eyes on Darren and myself. And that's it for me. Oh, let me roll my 1d6.
For your armor class, right?
Yeah, and I get 3.
Another rat appears, flanking Darren.
And just appeared. It
was literally not there a moment ago. It appears as it attacks Darren.
Oh my God. Okay.
And what is Darren's armor class?
Darren's armor class is a 13.
Okay, yeah. Attacking with advantage. It is absolutely a hit. Roll a Constitution saving throw for Darren.
Don't do this. Oh, we got inspiration for Darren. I'm going to roll this with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, a 16.
All right, you passed your saving throw, meaning that you only take 12 points of damage total. Now roll a Constitution saving throw to avoid taking a health level.
Wait, but shit, that was for shit. Oh, I thought it was for the damage. Oh no. I would have done that the other way around had I known, because I would have.
Well, here's the thing. If you want, you can try to take that 14 because of the first, since you didn't understand.
Yes, I will. No, I will take the 14.
Okay,
absolutely.
You're gonna take the 14. You're gonna hope that the 14 passes.
Here's the thing. I figure I'd rather roll higher on the let's not take damage rather than the taking double damage thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You still save on your Constitution check, which means you can make a new Constitution save to avoid taking the health level. Just make a single one, and we're going to take the better of that or 8.
Or the 8. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Oh, it didn't matter.
Darren takes 1 health level of damage.
Oh, Darren! Thank you for trying to help, chat. Oh gosh.
And the other imp attacks. Oh, hold on. You just got flooded with healing boosts. Let's give the first one to Darren, healing him back up to 2 health levels.
Oh, thank you, chat.
And then Darren gets inspiration again.
Oh, good.
And then
Darren,
you can have a healing boost.
Oh, thank God. Do I roll that or do you roll that?
You roll it. 2d4 plus 2.
Thank you, chat. 9!
You heal
Oh
9
gosh.
health.
Oh, okay, we're back in the game again. Guys, I think I'm going to have to run away from rats. I don't know if I've ever run away from rats before, but this is insane. These rats hurt. Here's some powerful rats.
And the other one attacks. Because it hasn't done that yet. With advantage because it's flanking Darren.
Yep, that tracks.
But it misses. Darren manages to hop out of the way. Boing, boing,
Oh,
boing,
Darren.
boing, boing. The thug is unconscious and is not entitled to a turn. It is your turn. You have
So, because I want to be fair on this, technically he was suffering from a lingering wound. So even though I myself didn't deal lethal damage to knock him out, until that wound is healed, he's taking damage every turn until
he gets the Constitution saving throw. So if he makes this save, he's unconscious. If he fails this save, he has 2 failed death saves.
Oh God.
He made it. Yeah, so he's stable.
Thank
he's
God.
fine.
Because I didn't want him dying, but I would feel bad if I just like, oh yeah, I gave him a lingering wound and then didn't bring up that he had a lingering wound. So thank goodness. Okay. He's strong. He's strong.
All right, Darius, it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to use a bonus action to hide, if that's okay. Don't fail me now.
Darren receives another healing boost from chat. And heals to a 3rd health level. And you have a stealth of 20.
His second wind.
He just went, whoop.
Darren's like, I will never let Master die by rats. Actually, well, my son, actually, if he's the spirit of my father, I don't know, but it was complicated. Okay, I'm stealth. I'm assuming that I'm good enough with this check, and I am going to, from my stealth, pop out, throwing knife, and attempt to kill this rat that hurt my father spirit hawk so much. And I am going to. I can't believe I'm burning all my cunning artifice on rats. I feel like I'll hold on to one more, and I'm going to hit it with disorienting strike in case it survives. I don't want it to stuff. So let me pop this up so we can see what it do. Roll and go. Okay, I hope that works.
Yeah, that is that's gonna be a hit. But as your knife, it should have just like splorched the crap out of this thing, and then like it dives into the rat, and then it sort of pushes itself out as the rat's wounds heal, meaning you inflict half damage. It has damage resistance to your attack, so instead of doing 19 damage, you deal 8 damage.
Oh no. Okay, well, let's see here.
And the target must make a Constitution saving. I am again rolling in secret. Does a 14 pass?
A 14 does not pass. It is a DC 15.
Okay, what happens? On a fail, they have their disadvantage on its next attack roll and on perception checks until the end of its next turn. All right.
So it's like, even though like I threw it and basically the hilt of the dagger banged against its head, didn't do as much damage as it normally would.
No, you cut it. You cut it.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, yeah, you're describing the disorienting strike. Then yes.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it's glanced in and got pushed out, and it was bad. But it's like its head is ringing. This little rat is like, oh no, real bad. Okay, that was my action.
Darren's turn. Action. Use your bonus action to hide. Yep. You can move if need be.
I'm gonna move up, and I'm gonna flank with Darren. Darren has to live.
Well, remember, Darren is going to score an automatic hit.
Oh, you're right. You're
because
right.
Darren's a
Why would
retainer.
I put myself in danger? Okay, we're gonna have Darren say, "Hey, this thing right here." Well, okay. When last time when Darren hit this thing, it didn't do that, right? Darren was fully effective, like he was
Correct.
hitting like a normal net.
Correct.
This thing's. I'm gonna let Darren decide. Mate, can you roll a 1d2 for me, please?
Yep. On a 1, it's the... Do you want to call it, or do you want me to call it?
I was thinking one left, two right, but whatever you think is good. I honestly
2!
Okay, perfect. All right, Darren's gonna go for this guy.
Roll damage.
Roll. Darren uses his talons and deals 7 slashing damage.
That would have been a natural 1 if he wasn't a retainer. Darren's talons still deal full damage.
Ooh, sound effects on death.
As it dies, the rat twists and transforms. Its arms stretch out. Its little skinny tail turns into a scorpion tail. Wings sprout from its shoulders. Its face gives way to the face of a tiny devil. And as it thrashes and flails with Darren's claws dug into it, it melts into the cobblestones of Baldur's Gate into a foul-smelling ichor that immediately vanishes. Another plane of existence.
I know this is Descent into Avernus, but I thought we were supposed to go to hell. I didn't think hell was coming to us.
Hell's coming to you.
Okay, and Darren is gonna do that thing where, like, the birds do, where like are on the ground, like, doing that little side hop skip. He's gonna like be just kind of sizing up his last remaining enemy and is ready to finish this thing off. He has his second wind and he's ready to go.
Okay. Well, I deleted the one who was in the turn order, so let me just fix that real quick. Okay. The rat, end quote. Turns invisible.
Oh.
And when it's invisible, it does not provoke attacks of opportunity. And it scampers away.
Oh no.
Darius, it's your turn.
Wait a moment. Yeah, I don't. And by I don't think so. I don't think I'm finding this thing. I would try. Normally, I'd try and listen for it and see if I can try and swing following its movements and whatnot. But yeah, my okay, that sucked. All right. Well, here's the nice thing. As far as I can tell, that guy is still alive. So I'm putting Darren on Overwatch. By the way, since he was right next to him, did Darren hear where it scampered off to? Like, which direction?
Roll perception for Darren.
Roll in perception.
Not with advantage, because
his keen sight is off of sight, not hearing.
precisely.
Perception.
Daddy.
Natural 20. Where did Darren's keen senses sense this impish rat going to? Hey, normally I think this is kind of silly to ask for, but since it's a nat 20, could Darren, since he was hopping around and like about to attack this thing, would he maybe have a chance of being able to follow up after this thing and try and do a...
He can attack. Okay. He has its exact location honed in on radar. He'll still have disadvantage to attack it. Like, I'm literally pinging the square where it is. He'll have disadvantage to attack it, but he can attack it.
Okay, then Darren is going to take off into the sky and use his finely honed radar. You're pinging right here, right? Just to make sure over this grid.
Yep, that's where I'm pinging.
Okay. And yeah, let's just, you know what? Okay. Here's the thing. What's the worst that could happen? Darius sees Darren flying off, and normally he'd be like, okay, it's invisible. We're not going to find it. He's going to haul ass over here and go, "What do you got, boy?" And he's gonna just move, dash, pull out his rapier, and he's gonna attempt to just. He sees the grate and he shoves his rapier like over towards the grate and is trying to stab at what this imp and rat is possibly trying to head off into the sewers.
Okay, you have it flanked, which means that you have advantage. It's invisible, which means you have disadvantage. So, what?
Yes, Papa.
So this is an even roll.
Do it. Come on, Darius. 16.
16. You pierce, as it scrambles like into the sewers, you shish kebab the thing, pull it up on your sword as it wriggles and writhes and shrieks, and then it turns, its face transforms into this imp, and it snarls. You speak Infernal, right?
I do actually.
Hell awaits you, interloper! All the evils of Avernus shall come! Your soul will be tormented forever! Maggots will crawl in and out of you!
And it melts and dissolves and is gone.
Yes. Hey, mate, can you send me a transcript of that, please?
It just yelled insults at you as in Infernal, cursing your name.
But I heard something saying that the hordes of Avernus are coming.
All the evils of Avernus are coming for you.
Yes.
You'll perish in flames, you know, the usual.
See, here's the thing. Normally, that is the usual, but let me bring it up on screen here. I mean, I don't know if anyone else can see it other than me. Isn't it coming up?
What are you pulling up?
The drawing tree.
Yes.
Why isn't it coming up? Do I have it open somewhere else? I don't. Mate, can you bring up the drawing tree?
Did it just pop up?
No, not for me.
Weird. Well, it popped up.
I see that chat can see it. And I recently went and I visited the drawing tree in Insight Park, and I have gotten wind that yes, there's some crazy stuff happening in hell right now. So normally the curses of an imp wouldn't really bother Darius too much because that's what imps do when they die. Curse. But this is a bit too much of a coincidence. Okay. Darius spits at the dissolving ichor where the fiend just was, and he is going to rush back over before this commotion back here draws too much attention, and he is going to take the thug, throw him up over his shoulder. Well, okay, first he's going to tie him up. He'll tie him up, then throw him over his shoulder, and going to haul him. We had talked about, I'm going to have Darren rush over to the one-way in, and then lead Reyna back to Joplin's. I'm going to just make a beeline to Joplin's, using as much of the alleys as I can, taking my time to make it received while I drag this person back. Or actually, no, you know what? I'm way closer. I'm going to head to the one-way in, and I'm going to have Reyna carry. She's way stronger.
All right. So you've made your way all the way over here to the one-way in. And now you're going to make your way back over to Joplin.
Yep.
New base of operation. Yes, good. All right, you bring your prisoner back to base. What do you do there?
Well, when I meet back up with Rhea, she was able to lose her person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine. Did she have to beat him up, or did she actually lose him?
Oh, she actually lost him.
Oh, nice. Well done. I congratulate her. I make a comment about how, despite the fact that you're this lumbering, loud, powerful knight, you seem to be acclimating more. Probably like. And from there, I go, oh, by the way, this is yours. And I pass her the unconscious thug.
Sworn to carry your burdens.
And on the way back, I inform her that I was attacked by rats that weren't rats. We'll get into it. I don't want to say too much on the street now, but others, and I'll keep you up on what. And that we are doing.
All right. She assists you in the aforementioned objective. I'm just taking notes on the XP that you are entitled to for defeating these rats. Along with
and
Doug. Yep. already looking. It's a pretty little pile.
Mhm.
So you
Dude,
return to.
I am just like on a meta level. I'm so looking forward to Uncanny Dodge. It just changes the.
do you pick it up at your next level? Nice.
It's been months that I've been like just waiting. Like I've never gotten to be a rogue in D&D. No matter how much I've always played, I've never actually. It's the first game I've actually gotten to be a true rogue, and I love it.
For some reason, I didn't. Oh, you know why I didn't know that? Because I kept thinking your character in our long-running home game was a rogue because he acted like a rogue, but he wasn't. He was a blood hunter. Before that, he was a fighter, right?
I was a fighter with a criminal background, and I did everything like a rogue. Everything I did was very roguish, and then we ended up slowly updating me to a blood hunter, in which I was still very rogue. I missed that character. Anyway, Darius Ravengard, Master of the Unknown, kicks the door into Joplin's, looking like a big D in a locker room, and has Rhea slam the body of the thug on the floor before the rest of his.
All right, crash.
Everyone, we have a rat in our. Being that and metaphorically. Wouldn't you say so, Darren? Sure. Yeah.
Now, because everyone else is doing other stuff right now, and they're away from the campaign, I'm only going to give you. You can go ahead and like address this scene. That's totally fine. But I'm only going to give you access to your own character and retainers skills.
Oh yeah, I was just making like a
narration.
If there's literally nobody there, it's like, oh.
No, I like it better if there's people there.
And yeah, I'm basically going to just ensure that this thug is good and well tied up. I'm going to bring him down to the basement area of Joplin's, where I would assume Joplin himself likely did some interrogation. If there is an area where there's like a stool and like some dried blood on the floor, I'm going to go to that area. But if there's not, then make that area.
All right, you set the scene. You set the mood.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to catch up Rhea and whoever else is there that, hey, there were rats that weren't rats. Darren and I defeated them. They revealed themselves rather and dissolved into goo before shouting curses about the forces of hell coming. And I explained that while that's pretty normal for fiends, when I actually take out the bark parchment from the drawing tree and present it to whoever is there, those implications, are worse, especially considering we ran into a bounty hunter just the other day that also had the services of some kind of. So whether or not, basically Darius is like, look, I'm not the brightest tool in the shed, but even I, know what shit smells like when I step in it. You know what I mean? Something's happening here. Had Elturel just completely go off the map. We have a patriarch house that is embroidered with cult activity. That cult activity has a more than an obvious connection to demonic things themselves. We've had cultists of Tiamat. We've got the Cult of the Dead 3 that we recently just disbanded, and who knows what else could still be linked. And now we have imps and fiendish creatures that are popping up around Baldur gates. And now we have this. Then presents the drawing tree. Again, I can't freaking look at it, but mate, could you give me a very brief description about what I think the parchment? It's Zarya, right? You're muted!
I am muted. You gained 1 experience point. I'll add that to the count. You saw the battlefield between devils and demons fighting over the river Styx. You saw them fighting below a broken city chained to the ground around them. You saw, almost as if it's on the surface of a cavern above it, the city of Baldur's Gate. And you saw this winged figure, the archdevil Zariel, with her wings spread basically over the entire thing.
So it basically, from what we're seeing here, it looks like Baldur's Gate is about to get either invaded or dragged into hell, right?
Your words, not mine.
Well, because, again, to get the iconography, you're saying that we have Baldur's Gate. There we go. So you have Baldur's Gate at the top. And then below it, but in framing the entire piece, is this archdevil. And was there anything else aside from Baldur's Gate being encroached by this archdevil?
Well, again, so at the very top, as if on the surface, you have the city of Baldur's Gate. And then underneath it, like it's in a cavern, you have Zariel, being very, very spooky over everything.
Yeah.
He's missing a hand, by the way, which has been replaced with a flail in the art.
Yes.
And then sort of like below her, you have this broken city on a rock, just like floating, chained above the river Styx below. And above this city is this dark orb with like rays of light drawn out from it. Below that, you have this river of blood, and you have a regimented army of fiends on one side and a howling horde of fiends.
Okay, question. Just because I know that I myself am not the most studious thing, but I do know Infernal. I did a little bit of research into hierarchy. Do I recognize is that Chained City a known city in the underworld, or could I look at, or as I'm looking this over with Rhea, can I like, hey, that's not what I think it is it?
She goes a little wide-eyed and says that dark orb looks a lot like the companion.
That's what I thought. I've heard you and Umberto speak of that. This is Elturel. Elturel was dragged into hell, which is why it's no longer here on the material plane in Farron. And Baldur's Gate is next. It only makes sense. Oh my god. That's what my dad was doing. He was going to Elturel to stop this. He caught wind of this, and he was trying to broker peace between Elturel and Baldur's Gate. He was going to make sure that this didn't happen. And then as soon as he got there, this damned fiend dragged the entire freaking city into hell, and now they're coming here.
How can you drag an entire city into hell?
Well, look, there's chains. I mean, look, you can light your sword in flame. I can throw really good.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the
there's
gods,
crazy things in this world.
But the gods shouldn't allow this. It was a holy city. It was protected by the three, like not the dead three, the good three. Like Torm and Helm and Lathander, and how could they allow this to happen if that's the case? Like
yes. But you yourself, your nomenclature, you're a hell rider, right? Your ancestors went down into hell to fight fiends. Is that not correct?
Hmm?
Well, if you can go down there, why can't they come up here? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know the way this works exactly. I'm just saying, like, it just, not that things should or shouldn't be fair, but it seems unfair that we can go down there and mess with them, but they can't come up here and mess with us. I mean, we know that there's been fiends across Farron making deals, and I know this is crazy. We've never seen something like this happen before. At least nothing that. But, I mean, I'm sure these are probably metaphorical chains, but still, I mean, obviously, Elturel was dragged into hell. And, oh my God. I ask her, like, and I'm going to try, if Umberto's around, I'd like to ask him too, but if he's not, I'm just going to ask her, like, was there any important figure in Elturel that was doing anything shifty or weird just prior to its disappearance? I know that you were out scouting and you were gone for some time, but was there any important nobility or some kind of person high up in the hierarchy that was acting a little weird, scattering your people, causing divisions and lines between anything like that at all?
Browns, she's trying too distracted just by the thought that her entire city, like she saw the crater where it was that it left behind. Knew something horrible happened, but this thought is just like, how can all those people be damned regardless of whether they did good or that just does not sit with her understanding of justice or even how the universe works. She's having trouble parsing it, and she's not really able to give useful answers.
I place my hands on her large armored shoulders, and I look up at her. I'm assuming she's taller than I am.
She is, but she's a girl of like 16 years old.
Oh, okay. Well then,
yeah,
we're probably similar height. Okay, well then, I place my hands on her shoulders. I look into her eyes. I don't. They're dead. I don't think those people were destroyed in that night. I'd like to make an untrained Arcana check, if that's okay, just to see if Darius would even have the wherewithal to describe what I kind of want to try. Okay, yeah. I feel confident in saying this. look, I don't know much about the planes or the afterlife. What I do know is that when, as long as you held onto some kind of god, whether it be good or ill, don't end up on the wall. And if your people truly were good, unless they signed some kind of contract or did something abominable in their last moments before, even if they did die, what I'm saying is we don't know those people, my father or your people, are actually in hell. If they were destroyed in an explosion and the ruins of Elturel were brought into hell, then yes, it's possible that the evils among you, whatever. But good people would have gone to where good people. And I don't think they're dead anyway. I feel like literally your city and maybe soon my city were kidnapped, were ripped from their plane and brought somewhere where they don't belong. And it's possible that your people and my father are under duress. They're being assailed by these fiends. They may be pushing fiends off the ramparts while they're being assailed down there. But all this means is that we need to figure this out. We have to make sure that we gather our companions. We find any friends that we may have still here within the city or outside and figure out a way to reverse this. I don't even can't begin to know how. But if I can alert the rest of the patriarchs and let them know that that is what happened to Elturel, and this gate is next, we can get not just the patriarch, but the people on our side. I mean, we can't cause a hysteria. We can't release this to the masses necessarily, but we can fix this. I think we have Robert and Umberto. We have magic users. There's a tower here. There's a tower with a wizard here. We can go talk to the towered wizard man person and we can figure this out. We can do this. And I want to assure you that your people were not damned. We'll get through this, okay? I promise you.
Roll persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion.
22 total. All right. She is still, terrified for her people, worried for her people. The idea that they might be in hell right now, damned or not, is just an awful, awful thought. But she is galvanized, she's determined, and she's inspired by your words. A look of resolve and steel comes over her and says, we have to go help them. If they're under attack right now, if they're under duress, if they're fighting, then we have to go to their side. That's where I belong. I belong with my people.
Okay, so what do you want to do about it? Do you know how to get into hell? Are there any rites or any rituals that you have to do as a Hell Rider to be able to open a portal or to find a way?
No, it's not like Hell Riders can just pop over whenever they want. They're named that after a legendary battle. They aren't trained to actually go to hell. The only person she can think of, the first person that springs to mind who might know what to do, would be the High Overseer, Krieg.
Yes, and Marto Sandu, who we're looking for. You saw him here, correct?
Yeah, I saw him in the city. And the rumor is he was under custody of Vanthampur guards.
What was Kree doing outside of Elturel? Why wasn't he taken with
He was supposed to be in Elturel. I had no idea. I assumed he went down with the city. So the report that he's in Baldur's Gate is weird.
Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, I don't necessarily hate the Vanthampurs, but here's the thing. We've been seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, that they're doing some really bad. The youngest Vanthampur bathhouse that ended up being cult hideouts. Dead 3, there were the cultists of Tiamat that came there, and then he was betrayed by them. We know that the cult betrayed him and killed him, and we know that the rest of the family is covering this up. They've been dealing with the Dead 3, and I mean, God, I wish we would have been able to keep one of those damn cultists. It's like some kind of work with us anyway. But here's the Vanthampurs are up to something. If they actually do have your Master Krieg, and they have something to do with what is happening with Elturel going to hell, and it's possible that they're preparing Baldur's Gate for the same thing. These Vanthampurs may be in league with these fiends, they tried this on Elturel, and they did some kind of crazy ritual. They captured your Krieg, and they they were able to send Elturel. Was the cult there? Was there any whisperings or musings or anything weird happening in Elturel before this happened?
No, just the diplomatic summit with Baldur's Gate. There's always some whisperings of evil here and there. I mean, okay, actually, the Dead 3 was active outside of the city. We didn't have any reports of them really getting anything done inside.
Okay, but neither did we. The cult of the Dead Three, they were active outside Baldur's Gate, but then we found that they had a secret base inside in this bathhouse inside of here. It's
Maybe they're
possible.
involved. Maybe they are behind all this.
Yes, exactly. And what I'm thinking, no, I think the Vanthampurs are the ones behind this. I feel like they're the masterminds. They're twisting. We know that they were working with one cult, the Cult of the Dead Three, but there was interest from another cult, Cult of Tiamat. It's possible that these Vanthampurs are working with Zarya. They could be. They might not even be the Vanthampurs. I mean, they themselves were literally sewer workers that rose up through the ranks into being one of the greatest patriarch families in Baldur's Gate. I mean, that sounds like a deal with the devil if I've ever heard of it. They may be fiend. We went to Mordecai more. Oh God, I can't pronounce it. But we found a devil mansion here in Baldur's Gate. There was literally a mansion where there was a family of devils. They sold their souls and they had this crazy mansion where they killed people. I mean, we're finding fiend crap everywhere.
This really is
And
a
it's
terrible city.
hey, okay, I know things don't look good right now, but this is an amazing city. How dare you? I've said lovely things about Elturel. And all right, fine. Look, I know it can be a shithole at times, but when you get to the heart of it, the people of Baldur's Gate are good people. They don't deserve to be dragged down into hell. I'm going to make sure that I can do everything in my power to stop that. Anyways, all right now I have are wild accusations, but in this brain of brain, I think the Vanthampurs are the ones behind everything. They were the ones who caused Elturel to fall into hell, and they are trying to do the same thing here. I believe they used Elturel as a testing ground for whatever they were doing. Now they are planning to do the same to Baldur's Gate. It could be that they're planning to do this across Faerun. They're going to start here, move their way down to the Sword Coast. They could try and drag the big city there. What is it?
Waterdeep.
Thank you. Waterdeep. Or Luskin. There could be multiple cities across the coast that they're going to try and drag down into hell. Who knows? What I'm getting at here is we need to stop this, and I feel like the way to do that is we need to insert ourselves into the patriarch. We need to speak to the other families. We need to get them, first of all, to stop this vote, because the Vanthampurs are the ones that are trying to get rid of the Red Fist. And don't get me wrong, I don't love them, but they're keeping the peace as well as it can right now. Without them, that gives the Vanthampurs enough leeway to be able to insert whatever the heck it is that they're trying to do. Or if they get rid of the Red Fist, or the whatever the hell it's called,
Flaming Fist.
the Fighting Fist, thank you. They get rid of the Fighting Fist. I know it. Darius doesn't forget. Then we're open to an attack. I don't know what happened at Elturel. It could have been that fiends descended from on low and started killing people and dragging them. I don't know.
Descended from on low. I like that.
But all I'm getting at here is we need to get up into the high city, and we need to insert ourselves into what's going on up there. We need to find out if the Vanthampurs do have Krieg and what they're doing with it, and what their machinations are. And the way to do that is to ingratiate ourselves to the other patriarch, and to ingratiate ourselves to both the lower and outer city denizens. Get the people side, and if we have to, we can overthrow the Vanthampurs if necessary, but we have to figure out what their machinations are and stop them.
See her grasping her sword in frustration.
No hollow smash. We have to be very delicate about this. We can't just go swinging our swords until we know.
So we don't go into the upper city and storm Vanthampurs.
I mean, I would love to do that, but here's the thing, Rhea, you're a very, very competent knight. But if we truly, if our fears are founded, we could break down the doors of the Vanthampur estate, and we could be besieged by fiends. And then we would die. And then there would be no one who would know what's going on with the Vanthampurs and could stop them. I know it sucks. I know it's difficult to stay your hand and to wait for the right moment to strike, but we absolutely have to. If we strike before the iron is hot, we're going to ruin everything. But we have to keep making progress. We have to get this sword hot enough when it's ready, we can mount it. We can not a smith, but we can. You know what I mean? I'm using a metaphor here. We can turn the sword into what we want it to be. You get what I mean?
All right, that metaphor, as mixed as it was with your limited understanding, definitely speaks to her as a hell writer. So she hears you, she understands you, she accepts what you're saying, even if she's, again, incredibly worried.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It is currently 4:30 in the afternoon. What would you like to do?
Dude, I am blasted out of my mind with pain. I've been bit by rats. I've been shot with arrows. I've been punched. I've been trapped. I've had a hard day.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long day. But we've gotten a lot done. We took over Joplin's. We uncovered a lot of bad stuff and brought people to justice. I've got giant enemy crabs down south that are getting killed by my associates.
Mm.
We are renovating Joplin's and getting things ready. Oh God, and we have that kingpin to worry about, the churchman or the clergyman or the candle maker.
We're not in game, like in between you and me. We're not going to handle that today. That is something that's going to take a couple days to be, not like even in game day. I mean, like in real day. It's going to take a couple of game days to get that ready.
Good, which means it'll be 16 episodes when we get there. I'm just having Darius kind of go over himself and go like, God, it's been a long day.
Mm.
I look to Ray and go, "You drink? Can you drink?" I look at, wait, can you drink? You can drink. Yeah.
I mean, this ain't the United States of Faerun. This is medieval times. There is no legal drinking age.
Oh gosh, what's her name? We have her here. Where is she? She should be here. Someday she'll be here. The fortune teller we picked up. I don't want to just keep calling her fortune teller. That's what we hired her to help. Also,
make tea.
Yeah, to make tea. I want some tea. You know what? I want a hot toddy. Clem, fortune teller lady. If you guys whip something up, I need a really hard tea. That's gonna be our new namesake. We're gonna make hot toddies, and everyone's gonna love it.
Nice. All right, a hot toddy is.
Rhea, have you had a hot toddy before?
That sounds lewd.
No. It's not actually. See, here's the thing: you take a lemon and you stick it in some. And I explain it in a way that sounds kind of lewd, even though it wasn't.
It's not lewd at all. You squeeze the cloves way up in there until the whole thing is juicy and wet.
And then you take the honey and you have to drip it ever so, making sure that it diffuses throughout the entire. Very gentle. We have a couple of hot toddies.
All right.
Settle our nerves.
And then do you want to take a long rest?
Here's the thing. It's going to be...
You can bank. You can also, if you want, you can take a long rest and bank a couple of crafting or downtime hours that you can decide to spend later.
Let's take a look at things here before we do that. So, pulling out his notes and kind of going over it and seeing what he wants to plan. It seems like there's a lot that needs to be done in the Upper City around things. This is Matt saying this. A lot of the stuff that we have in the Upper City, it is, how you say, tough. It's the kind of stuff you need a party for. And when Darius is alone, Darius can get good things done in his own PC, but he also runs the risk of straight up dying. So here's the thing. Let me ask a very meta question right now, mate. Do I have enough experience for Darius to get level 5? Because if he do, that changes everything. Because a level 5 Darius can do a lot more by himself than
How much XP do you need?
It's 6,700 or 6,500. Character advancement is 65. I need less than 200 experience.
Not sure if you've got there just yet.
Specifically, need 171.
Oh, 171? You might have hit that. Give me one sec. Because you ranked up your relationship with Rhea in that conversation, and that is worth XP. Where is relationships? I have that.
And, I took out 2 imps.
Oh yeah, I've already calculated all that, but that's only worth, you've got about 500 right now. but it has to be divided 4 ways, which should be
right.
125. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we have XP share active.
Yeah, no, I know. But it is going off of, the encounter is going off of me, even though it's getting shared with everybody. Like, it wouldn't be comparing that encounter to all 4 of us. It's just comparing that encounter to
An
me,
imp
right?
is worth X experience points.
Okay, cool.
Is how I'm handling it. Yeah.
Okay, good. No, that's good. That's good. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so you get, well, another 70 XP for increasing that relationship. So 570, but again, 571 divided by 4 is 142. You don't quite have enough XP to do that.
So the interpersonal relationship is split with everyone as well, not just.
Yeah, I want the whole party to level together.
No. I agree. Now here's the thing. Question. I sent some people off to go kill some giant enemy crabs.
Yes.
That be worth just 30 experience, so that way.
No, it can't. But I am gonna say that for quest related reasons, you're gonna get another 30 XP. You yourself need 30 XP.
Well, no, I need 171. I was just saying if it was 142, I would need 29 more experience points we would need 29 more experience. I mean, technically, could we get half XP for eluding the other 2 thugs? Would that be a thing?
Sure. So I'm gonna give 691 XP, which is 172 experience points.
Yeah, that's 1 point over. So your mute helped. Those mutes helped. Yay. Okay, cool. Yeah. So at that point, if I can actually be level 5, I can do a lot more of this scary stuff by myself, because then I take half damage. That just changes the game for me.
The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that you have potential to just do like, you can always go into one of these more dangerous areas and collect information. And as the DM lures possible, like, because this is how this always goes, right? Oh, we're just here to do recon. And then you see a moment that's too good to pass up or something intriguing and you follow up on it. If you instead, don't, then you can still collect valuable information. Why don't we take a 10-minute break? Because we're approaching the hour-and-a-half mark. We're a little early. We take let's do a 6-minute break. Level up your character during that time. Perfect. So, chat, we'll be back at level 5 in 6 minutes.